Hello, friends. Gonna do a little bit of fun here tonight at the house. I'll go ahead, get my screen shared, and this is basically a glorified rock, paper, scissors game, but I'm gonna have some fun with it because this is, I mean, this is where we can really start to get after it and really start to enjoy a few things. Okay, so this is Eclipse. We'll get back to this. We're not quite ready for this yet. I'm gonna come here to GitHub. And it'll log into my account, right? This is my account. And I'm gonna click on a new, and this is just for an example, and I'm gonna call this rock, rock, paper, scissor, right? And I'm gonna make this a SWASU one because I wanna share this with all of you. Um, And I'm going to go ahead and make this one public. I'll add a README file that I'll work with later. I'm going to add a git ignore, and I'm going to use a Java template. And I think that should work well. And I'll use an MIT license. And you can read about these licenses and find more about them on the internet. I just typically use an MIT license. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and get this copied to the clipboard. And the first thing that I'm going to do is share this with all of you through Canvas and Discord. So let me open up Discord. Yeah. Actually, I'll circle back to Canvas. Okay, Computer Science 1. Okay, so we've got that up and running. We've got that link and it's posted here under rock, paper, scissors, and I made this public. So now the next thing we need to do is I'm going to open up the command line because this is how I do these kind of things. I'm going to, I have a special spot in my hard drive that I go to called Git. And then inside that, all of the stuff that I do with Git, I keep in one spot. And so you can see Eclipse, which you might have seen me work with before. Story time is something we'll touch on later. But anyway, here is where I keep all of my Git repositories. And that way I know if I made a Git repository and I think it's in a Git repository, I can just go and look and it's going to be in this folder. Okay, so to get it onto my machine, it's going to be git clone, and then I just right click to paste it in. Now my credentials are already cached. This is on my laptop, so it's already there. dir, and you can see, and if I do dir again, we can see, hey, there's a git ignored, there's a readme file. I'm going to use a text editor to open up the readme file right quick. And so all right, so that is my goal. I'll go ahead and close that. Okay, so I made one minor change. Now I'm going to do git add dot. That adds all of my files. Git commit -m. Whoa, ah, and that's pretty common to see that pop up when you first set up a repository. And now it said to set your account's defaults, and it said fatal empty ident name. So I'll have to hit the up arrow, go up and retry that commit. And now I can do git push. And again, I've got my credentials cached on this machine, so it should just automatically push it up to the cloud. So cool. Now that I push that up to the cloud, we can come here. I'm going to hit F5 on this little one. Oh, F5 is not the right button. F5 on my laptop just turns the keyboard light on and off. So rock, paper, scissors, this is going to start out as a simple example and may get crazy later. Okay, so that's the interaction. That's what it takes to take stuff from the cloud, get it onto your laptop, and then get it back up into the cloud. So that's a brief introduction, a very simple introduction into how to use Git. So I'm going to stop this example. I'm going to stop this video now, and I'll actually start programming with Git. Or I'll set up Eclipse. Let's do Eclipse in this video. We're not very far into this video. Let's go ahead and set up Eclipse with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do File, New, and I'm going to call Java Project, and I'm going to call it Rock, Paper, Scissor. Use the default Java runtime environment, and I'm going to go ahead and click Finish. And I'm going to hit Don't Create because I never use these. Now, I need to do one other thing. So I'm going to go Window, Perspective, nope, Show View, and then it's going to be Other. And I need to open up my Git repositories. Okay, so here's my Git repositories. And what I need to do now is this little icon over here for, oh, there we go, add an existing local Git repository to this view. So I'm going to hit Browse, and I'm going to go to Git, and I'm going to see Rock, Paper, Scissors, and I'm going to say, yep, that is the one. And you just have to click it right here and click Add. And it's got the .git file, so it recognizes, hey, this is the one. Now I can come down here, and I've got Rock, Paper, Scissors. I'm going to right-click this guy. I'm going to go up here to Team. I'm going to hit Share Project, and then I say Rock, Paper, Scissors. Cool. And then it selects that, and I click Finish, and there we go. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a new package, and I'm just going to call this Simple Rock, Paper, Scissors, and I'll click Finish. I like to do packages because it keeps things nice and organized. I'm going to do a new class, and I'll say, I'm going to call this If Scissor, and I'll click on public static void main, and I'll click Finish. And we have this code now. I don't believe that it works. I think I messed something up. Let's find out. There we go. And we see that it does run. Okay, so now the next thing that we want to do is we're going to go up to Window, Show View, come down here to Other, and then I'm going to click on Get Staging. And so this is how we can do the same thing here in Eclipse that we did while on the command line. So I'll add all of these changes here, and I'm going to say, and then I'll just hit Commit and Push. And it already has all of my credentials cached. And with the way Eclipse does it, you have to first preview it. That's the default behavior. And then you can go ahead and push it up. And so it just takes a little bit, and then it will refresh, and it will say push to the repository. I don't believe that. And so I come back here, And I'm going to refresh this screen, and we can see this folder popped up. Inside this folder, we can see we've got the SRC simple rock paper scissor, and that opens up, and we see the if rock paper scissor.java, and we can see it just says hello, just like what we had done before. And just to show you one more functionality that's just kind of cool, simple trick for the people just getting started. Oops, no, that's not what a habit. Control S. Um, I'll commit changes. Okay, so we just made some changes here. Notice how the changes aren't reflected here. So we need to adjust that right quick. That's actually a simple thing to do. You just come here to rock, paper, scissors, you right click on it, you hit pull. And what does that do? It pulls the changes down from the cloud. And so what does our code look like now? Just like what we have expected. All right, friends, that is a great spot to stop that first video. So I'm going to go ahead and call it quits there. Um, I'll come back in the next video and I'll show you how to build a rock, paper, scissors. All right, friends, looking forward to it. Hopefully this was beneficial and shows you how to get started with Git and Eclipse. Not quite sure how to do this with the IntelliJ yet, or JetBeans or NetBrains or any of those other BlueJ or any of those other ones. So with that, thank you all for your time. I'll see you in the next video.